this is probably my third or fourth time here. Fourth time? Okay. So, it may be my fourth time, but I am most nervous. There is a reason behind that. It is a topic that is given to me, stress management. I can write here. The reason why this topic is giving me a lot of stress is because I have very little relationship with this. And when she did not give me a choice. Anjali did not give me a choice about the topic. Usually I choose my topic to speak. But this time she said there is a theme that we have which is called as stress management. And ever since she told me this a few days back, I have a lot of stress. Because I don't know about this. What is stress? It's a long time I have brought my relationship with this concept called stress management. So how can I tell people to talk about how to manage stress when I myself don't know what is stress? When you invite somebody to talk about some issues, for example, wealth management, the person is going to be an expert in that. He should be master about how to manage your wealth. But here I cannot give you much insight, I have to go a long time back in my life to know about what this thing is. And I don't want to go there. I'm very happy where I am at this moment. So, when I told this to Anjali madam, that, I don't know if I can really say anything about this topic, and I don't know what I can give tips on this. So because I'm getting stressed, so she said, she actually threw my own teachings on me. She handed my own teachings to myself, said, why don't you process it and see what it's like to be stressful, and then maybe you can give us good insight on this. And I agree. I was trying to do that. You see, the thing is, all my life, I believe stress is overrated. It's a hype. It's kind of a conspiracy. Conspiracy theories? We have a lot of conspiracy theories around. One of them is stress management. Stress-related issues. Because everything can be brought down to this thing called stress. It employs so many people in the world. Doctors, physicians, psychiatrists, psychologists, and gurus also, Because for everything, they will say on one particular thing, cause is stress. So if you have any illness in this world, they will say, doctors will say it is because of stress. If you have headache, it is because of stress. If you have blood pressure, it is because of stress. Whatever you say. So it keeps people employed. If you are going through divorce, also, lawyer will say you are going through stress. So we have to understand that perhaps this particular thing called stress management would just be a conspiracy. Have you thought about it? It employs people. It gives them money. All the doctors, psychiatrists, they'll be out of job if there's no stress. So they have to give you something. So you go to a doctor and you say, it's just a simple, this is stress. And he give you a particular medicine, write it down to you. Such an easy way to get money, isn't it? It could also be a form of manipulation. Because in my when I was very small child, there used to be my mom used to say, for everything, so ja nahi to Gabbar Singh aa jayega. You heard of this? Stress is like Gabbar Singh. For everything they'll use that time also. Stress is like Gabbar Singh. So ja nahi to Gabbar Singh aa jayega. Khana kha le nahi to Gabbar Singh aa jayega. That also was used all the time. So we are at a particular माइक को स्ट्रेस हो गया लगता है. So you see here, it could be just a pseudo character out there. As I said, stress is like our वो है नहीं, लेकिन हमें डराया जाता है. You know, when your wife wants your attention, she will try to sulk always. Why? She will try to say that she's very depressed. Reason is, that's a kind of manipulation. Attention is given to the wife after she is depressed, after she shows that she is depressed. So we are having some kind of, like I said, there is a conspiracy and this could be manipulation. And stress is such a thing that whether it is good thing or bad thing, it is always there. ऐसे ही ये भी stress भी ऐसे ही. If you're not getting married for some reason, somebody is not getting married, they'll say, अरे शादी नहीं हो रहा है, I'm going to be alone all my life. Stress. Once शादी हो गई, then also there is stress. Why? Now how am I going to be ever alone? See, it's everywhere. So is there anything like stress or not? We have to find out. And I totally rejected the concept of stress long time back. I thought that it is just one of these three reasons. Could be either conspiracy, or it could be manipulation, or it could be just our habit that we see stress in everything, good or bad. It doesn't matter. So instead, when the stress was given to me by Madam Anjali, that 3 days back, what to speak about, I decided I'm not going to speak about it at all. And my stress was gone. See, I handled it. For example, this coconut water is here. If I ask you what is the weight of this coconut water that I'm holding, it doesn't matter. But if I hold it for long, it becomes matter. So, how much am I holding it? If I hold it only for till the time that I drink the water, it's fine. I can place it afterwards. But if I keep it till the evening, or if I hold it for another day, my arms will become numb. Right? It's what you hold. It's not how much you can take in your life. How long do you hold a particular thing? I was worried when I thought I have to speak on this topic. But the moment I decided that I don't have to speak on this topic, I was fine. I immediately dropped it. So anything that you are doing in your life, the moment you decide that this is what I will make, this is what I will decide to do, you can already drop it. You can drop it. Immediately you can deal with the stress. You can get over with your worry. I think what happens is, when worries get accumulated, they become stress. When you allow it to pile up for days and days and days, it becomes stress. That's how it evolves into that. So what we have to do is try and drop everything. Take a decision and just drop it after. Whatever decision, good or bad for you, it's immaterial. Don't live with worries in your life. It's not worth it. So how did I deal with my worry? I decided I will not talk about that. Instead, I will talk about something that's more real. So I will talk about rest management rather than stress management. No stress. Now everybody knows about rest. Such a beautiful word, I'm sure. So what is the idea of rest? Is it sleep? Is it closing your eyes and just relaxing and thinking, oh, this will take care of all my worries? The rest that I talk about is not to do anything with sleeping or keeping your eyes closed. It's a much deeper concept than that. Because if you are sleeping with worries, you will get up with them. It is not rest. You go to your house, you're sleeping at night, and your parents come and ask you, did you sleep well? Did you rest well? Yes. You say, I rested very well, I slept very well. You may have slept, but you have not rested. You see, there's a difference between that. You have to know the difference. The rest that I talk about comes from Yoga Shastras, which says, Tadadrastu Swarupe. The witnesser rests in its own nature. Ever rest in its own nature. You must know about the witnesser to know what is real rest. Okay? I will write down that phrase here, that so it becomes very important for us to know about the nature of the witnesser. The moment you come to know about that there is a witnesser, you come to know the relationship between you and the world. Understand, this is very important. Everything in this world can be witnessed. There is a subject, that's you, and there is object, the world of objects. That and this. The here and that. So you have to understand the difference between this subject and object. And you need to stay at a little distance from what is happening out here. You understand? Stay at a distance from everything. The thing is, we are always, can I have this thing again? And if it's working. Thank you. Okay, let's hope this works now. Okay. So the witnesser, that's all. Nothing else. So first you know that there is a subject which is also the witnesser. Subject and witnesser is same. And then there is a whole lot that's happening there. That's called as object. The moment you are able to stay at a distance from what's happening there, you immediately know the witnesser. Right? Anything. All the objects in the world is appearing within time and space. Everything. With time, my lecture will be over. We will all walk out of this place. It is not permanent. I will not be here all the time. I will not be giving a lecture all the time. I have to go out. You also have to move out. It's all happening with No, it's okay. It's okay. So time and space. Hello? Is it okay? Yeah, okay. So as we go into time and space, we realize that if time and space itself is not permanent, anything that is contained within time and space cannot be permanent also. It's very simple. And so, the one that sees the impermanence in anything has to be permanent. Think about it. If everything within time and space, including time and space, is impermanent, then the one that is watching that has to be permanent. It is immovable. Well, everything moves. It is unchangeable when everything is changing. You see your life. Isn't it changing around all the time? New things are happening. Who's observing that? Something that's changeless. So whatever, your relationship has to move, has to shift to something that is more permanent if you are not to be worried about anything. What is there to get worried if everything is changing? What do you fear? You fear that if everything is changing, what is going to happen to me? That is what is changing. If I don't get good marks, if I don't study very well, if I don't happen, whatever, I don't get a good job or something, if I don't have money, if I don't succeed in my relationships. But you see, all of that is anyway impermanent. How can you decide about anything? You can only work towards it. But the result is not in your hand. So rather, why don't you shift your attention and try to strengthen your relationship with something that is already permanent. Already. It does not require anything to do. You don't require to fix that. Everything else requires fixing. Because पढ़ाई अगर marks अच्छे लेने हैं तो you have to study hard. If you have to retain your relationships with people and maintain them, then again you have to work on them. If you want to maintain a good health, you have to work on it. You have to eat properly, you have to have a good diet, you have to exercise. All that thing requires work. But it requires nowhere to know yourself. You see? Because you are already that permanent self. And when you talk about permanence of self, what does its attributes? It is not perishable. It is immaculate, does not subject to changes. And it gives you complete joy and happiness, which no object in the world can give you because it is fleeting, simple. So obviously we are not talking about that we should leave everything and become sannyasis or some stuff like that. No, nobody is saying. But you can witness everything, just like how you entertain yourself in a movie. You go and sit in the movie, you enjoy the movie. Why? Because you know you're witnessing it. It is not your life. You witness it. Similarly, your own life is nothing short of a movie. It is also happening. See? Only thing I needed was to shift my attention away from this object that is ever putting me into identification with itself. Always identifying myself with something that's impermanent, back into my own self, which is permanent. I know you have heard about this many times. But I have to reassert this again and again in all of you. You see? So coming back, you go to the witnesser, take your time, whatever is happening in your life, always know it is fine. It can't go worse than what it is. It can't be better than what it is. Maintain a state of neutrality, equanimity at your stage, no matter what it is, whatever your situation is. And then, whatever you are belonging, any religion, any spiritualism, any kind of background you are coming from, irrespective, you always know, you can always feel yourself. Feel yourself. deeply feel yourself means you have to have a deep necessity to make a relationship with yourself. Somehow you have got lost. You're not in touch with your own self. In between you have got lost. And when you start to regain that relationship, automatically the joy and the happiness are there and the worries are all gone at the background. They are not there. Because you now have something much more permanent than that. So that is the whole thing. You have to just know about the witnesser. So two things are there. One is know that understanding that everything that's happening here is not real, not permanent. It's temporary, whatever. And there always will be like that. You can't do anything about it. Life is in a flux. Keeps going, coming, new things are happening all the time. So impermanence is one thing. And the second thing is, having known that you are witnessing everything, go and feel the sense of witnesser inside within you. Spend time, at least 15-20 minutes in a day. You can always find time to stay inside and to feel yourself. Make a prayer to yourself. Don't pray to God. Really. First know that this creation, what I have created at this moment itself is God. Living in this moment, coming back to this, feeling that you exist, is nothing less than God. Your existence comes primary, and then all other concepts come. Could you have recognized something like God, whoever it is, without your existence? Which comes first, God or existence? Your existence comes first. After that, God, the concept of gods, and then all the division comes after that. Krishna is bigger than Shiva, Vishnu is bigger than this, and all the fights happen. And even in all the religions, Jesus is bigger than this. See, all the divisions happen afterwards. Why you want to go to division? Go to something that unites all of us. What is it that unites all of us at this moment? That we exist. There is no other bigger truth than this. Can there be? After that, we are Hindus or Muslims or Christians or Parsis. But before that, there is one unified consciousness, and that is, we are beings. Beings. So, respect your being. Respect it. Come to that sense of beingness inside you, each of you, and learn to accept it. So I don't say any bigger, this religion is bigger than that religion or something. No. That's all the mind that is putting you into all these kind of things. You don't get busy with all that. You have enough problems of your own to get into all that. Every religion, every spiritualism, everything have got their own beautiful things. Embrace that. And you embrace your presence, whatever it is, and you will see that you will feel a different kind of fragrance about yourself. As you start to devote yourself to yourself, devote yourself to yourself. It's very important. So we come to the second thing that you're saying about being calmly active or actively calm. There is no way that, when I say witnesser and whatever is happening out there, is there any kind of separation between the two? There is actually none. See? You are allowed to do, in fact, you are supposed to do all your work, the duties that are given to you. Even in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was deciding that I don't want to kill any of my, because he's my guru, he's my father, he's other. What did Sri Krishna say? No. For dharma, you need to do and fight this war. Because otherwise, you lead a very bad example. People will look and say, oh, he moved away from dharma. Similarly, you all have to work. There is no way that your faculties in your body, your mind is not going to work. It's always going to be engaged in something or the other. It cannot be kept idle. It is always going to work. So what are you going to do about this? Move all your activities. As you're doing your activities, you continue doing your activities, but without thinking of the result. Don't worry about it. What is going to be the result of it? Most people are stressed for that account. Second thing you all do, most people do, is you take too many things at the same time. So you see, your life has become one multitasking. When you have dinner, you're not having dinner only. You're also watching TV. You're also watching Times Now. You're also watching other serials, or after that is finished, you go to the computer also. Maybe you're watching TV also on your laptop, also on your mobile, and also eating. All is possible today. The mind moves so fast and swift. That way you are prioritizing. That's how you lead your life, and that gets reflected in the way that you behave in your life also. You do many things at the same time. Make one priority. This is my aim. This is what I have to achieve. And stick to that. For anything, just stick to that one thing in your life. What is your purpose of life? You want good money? Very good. Earn. Put your hard work into it. Earn money. If that is your purpose of life, do that. Make that one purpose. Keep that. If you want to become an intellectual, a good teacher, professor, good businessman, good doctor, become a master of that. Then you forget about everything else. You will never be worried. Because you are focused on one thing. A mind that is distracted will not be able to achieve many things. So we should always aim to achieve mastery over one thing. When I was a small child at around 10 years old, 11 years old, I decided that my life, whatever I do in my life, I have to spend time in meditation. I must know God. Now again I come to this concept of God here. At that time, at 10 years old, 11 years old, I only wanted to know, only one burning thirst in my life was to know God. That's all. At the age of 13 and 14, I asked my mother that I want a Shiva statue. While everybody were playing with cricket bats, I wanted Shiva statue. My mother said, you have to get this much percentage of marks for me to get you Shiva statue. I got it. I never got marks before that in my life. But because I was greedy for the Shiva statue at that moment, I did. I got good marks and I got my Shiva statue. That's how your life should be. There should be burning desire about anything that you want, and then anything that worries you about that will not be a worry. It will provide you a solution for that. Trust me. Whatever field you are, if you have a passion about something, please develop, know that whatever passion you are having, follow it to the very end. Don't allow your friends or anybody around you to distract you, including your parents, to distract you from what is your passion. Live with your passion. And I'm telling you one thing. If you live with your passion, money will come. Because it's secondary. It is secondary. Whatever your passion is. And like I said, the worries that comes with that becomes a good problem to have. Because you can solve them because you have a natural inclination towards it. You're not being forced to do something. So discover that part of yourself. How will you discover that part of yourself? Provided you listen to yourself. That's the first thing. Do you have enough time to listen to yourself? You are paying a lot of attention to everybody else. You are always looking at what your friends are doing there or who's doing what. But you are not looking at what you are doing. How are your thoughts? You are always judging the other person. See, she did like that and he did like this, and you know it is better for people to do like that. But what about you? Have you ever had a good conversation with yourself? Sit every night. Talk to yourself. Evening, close your room. If you feel it very odd, that you don't want people to see, I understand that. But that is very good meditation. It's an excellent form of therapy. You don't need a therapist. We don't need any psychologist. We don't need any psychiatrist. Trust me. We only need ourselves. Completely in honesty about ourselves. Every night, sit alone. Have a frank conversation with yourself. What is it that you want? And that will turn into meditation. Automatically. Right? So you can be completely active in this world and you can be very calm about it. Because you're not very much attached to anything that's happening. Because when you have a lot of passion about something, the journey itself is a result. You don't look at the result of anything. You see? Because there is no result out there. The result is already that I am pursuing something that I want in this life. Isn't it? Whatever field you are. Ignite the passion inside. Let it not die down. Let the fire of passion of doing something always be there in you. See? So, no worries, don't believe in stress, don't believe in anything called worries. Have fun, work hard, choose one thing to do, and just like Dronacharya had told Arjuna to think about the eye, just go there, that's all. Focus on one thing, and you will never have any problem with worries at all. Right? So, is anybody has any questions about it, which I can take? Any things that you want to talk about, or discuss, or share?
Not related direct to this, but in case of meditation, at a certain stage you don't know whether you're gone into subconsciousness for a particular time. Is it the right thing? Whether it's the right way of doing it?
You mean to say you don't remember what is happening in your meditation?
See, I used to always focus on the heart chakra.
Right.
But at some point, you lose the whole consciousness of your own self.
Do you go to sleep?
I don't sleep.
You don't go to sleep.
I sit in for a period of time. So, but I know I'm not sleeping.
Right.
I know
You're there.
I'm there.
Perfect.
So what is it phase? Because there is sometimes it phase for a short period, sometimes it is for a long period. Maybe it's having to be looking for
There are 4 states of consciousness. First state is a waking state, just now, right now. We're all using all our sense organs of perceptions. our limbs are working, world is there. This is called as the waking state consciousness. When you sit for your meditation, cross-legged or sitting in a chair, you are in a waking state of consciousness. When you drift into sleep, you start to dream. That's called as a dream state. After that, once you have crossed the dream state, you come to a place which is called as deep sleep state. In this deep sleep state, you are there yet not there. That's your state, what you are talking about. The third state. You are there, but you don't remember you are here. You are somewhere else, but you don't know what it is. You cannot recollect. It's only when you come back from that state, you remember you were gone. But you were there that time. That recognition, the realization of that state that you were but not there is called the deep sleep state, but it's still ignorant state. There is a fourth state which is called the Turiya Avastha. The one that is at the background of all these three states, that witnesses all the three states going and coming. That's called the state of Sat Chitananda Turiya. That's what you are. That's what each of us are. Once you know that state of Turiya becomes our nature. That follows us in all these three states. The waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. It is a substratum on which all these three states are rising and falling. They are not real. See? So in your meditation, whatever you are experiencing for that moment of time, it is the right thing you are doing. You continue doing in this way. But remember, sometimes you might fall asleep in that state because your focus of attention is in the heart. You may lose your alertness in that center. So for you, I would suggest one more thing to add. Just telling you now, you can focus on third eye along with what you're doing. After you have focused on third eye, then you go into your heart and sink there. You will be much more aware of what is happening. You will know your transition properly. Yes. Because why it is there? Because you are accumulating all the energy at one place. Third eye, Agya Chakra. It is called Agya. Commanding center. It commands all the energy at one place. It's very important for most people. Now it is not religious, let me tell you that. You're very scientific, I'm telling you. You bring all the energy at one place. That center that commands all the energy at one place is called as Agya Chakra. That's why it's called Agya. So what happens when the energy which is going into all places and scattered over all the things are all brought into one place? It brings a state of deep alertness. Focus, concentration develops with that. You see, if you put a piece of paper under a sun, it is not going to get burned. But if you put a magnifying glass, it will catch fire immediately. Why? Because it gets concentrated into one place. Condensed form of energy gets reflected from the magnifying glass and it just, right? So you can include this in your practice. You have been practicing this for how many years now?
I've been practicing Vipassana for
Right.
14 years. Then I have Ramana Maharshi is the thing I do.
Yes, so that's why you are going into the heart. Because Ramana Maharshi's thing is called as a consciousness going to the right side of the heart. But that's not what it is. Heart is not any physical heart. Just the presence. That's what you're doing, right? Presence. So, but before you come to that area of remembrance of the spiritual heart, stay for some time, include this practice, you will see change. You will see a lot of change there. Right. Any other question? Yes. You were there last time also, correct? See, I remember faces.
See, you were talking about this neutral state of emotion, right?
Right.
So my question was, even if you have this neutral state of emotion, but isn't it true that in order to grow and actually explore your true being, you need to go through sufferings and experiences? So now, if like my experience, I mean, I used to be very emotionally distant. Okay, so one time I'll be like extremely hyper or something, and the other time I'll be like extremely quiet. But now somewhere I have reached that stage where I think it's okay. Like, okay, this is a great thing and it's really, I don't know, I should be really happy about it, but then I'll be neutral. And then if it's something really sad and I have to sort it out, still I'll be neutral. So for me, it's helping me out because I don't see an emotional disbalance going on in my mind. But actually, what is affecting is it's actually, being like a negative side of me for someone who's there with me. So what my friends or what my parents might tell me is you become very emotionally distant, you don't tend to share things, or if the conflict is like between me and my friend. So for me, I'll be sorted within myself कि ठीक है ऐसे ऐसे हुआ and I'm over it. And I'll be like extremely normal. The next day I might not even remember what the fight was about. But for the other person, the issue still continues. And she wants to dig it out and actually
Right.
is the root. And for me, I'm like, okay, what actually happened? And I don't know. Like,
I understand.
to believe me, how you just forget it so easily. For me, I seriously don't remember the next day what exactly the issue was about. So somewhere, I mean, I am perfectly fine with it, and I actually have no issues with it. But it tends to affect the people who are around.
Right.
So what I'm not getting is how do I actually maintain a balance in my relationships rather than maintaining within myself? Because for me, as far as I know, I feel pretty balanced about all of it.
Tell me one thing, if someone tells you that, I will love you only if I'm in chain, I'm bonded in chain, and I will love you only if you bond yourself also on a chain, will you like it? Then, why you worry about the other person? What relationship are you asking? A relationship should be based upon freedom. A real relationship should be based upon love and freedom. You see?
About acceptance and actually trying to understand what the other person is saying. Now for me, the story is different, and for the other person,
You involve yourself only with your story. Why you are going to another person's story? The reason, see, already your story you think is very sorted out. But it could get messy if you start to involve everybody else's story also in your life. Right?
but isn't that being more self-centered and selfish about this?
Why? No. In fact, you should give this, whatever process that you have said, to your friend.
But what if they don't understand? I mean, most of us feel it's very superficial and
What is supervision?
whatever, like if I tell all this to someone,
Yes.
this is so philosophical and why do you want to get into that zone? And
So is there a need for you to feel important in your life for them? Do you feel insecure that they might leave you because of this reason? Then you don't worry. You lead your path. You are shining. You don't want to leave, you don't want to, lose your shine because of somebody else, do you? No. See, you must have compassion for somebody, but it doesn't mean that you allow somebody to drag you to his or her consciousness. You raise the other person's consciousness, become a good friend, try and tell that person, look, I know what you're going through. Just like the way you explained to me, why don't you explain the same thing to her? Have you tried that? And?
please, I know you are a psychology student.
Right,
You get all those concepts on me, and
right.
if you want to talk it out normally like a normal person, let's just sort it.
Oh, now she's made you abnormal. See, this is what happens. Then you start doubting, am I abnormal or what? Why I think like this and I am feeling like that? I am feeling so detached from everything. I think you are not detached. I think that you are very compassionate. You want to reach out to that person. That's what you want. But how you reach out is not by, being in chains like the way she is. Free her also. Gain the insight. Try and find out how you can help that person. And if she can't be helped, and if she refuses to be helped, leave it. There's nothing you can do. Don't waste your time. Stick to where you are. You are getting 90% out of 100%. Someone is getting 40%, 45%. So to make her feel good, will you want to score less next time? 45 to 50%? Or tell her that, come on, let me sit with you and we'll study together and you also come and reach 90%. What is the right way? You can't it. That's what you should do. And today the herd mentality is like this, that one person is getting less marks, so to make that person good, I also should get less marks. No. I have to score more. Otherwise you will compromise your own development intellectually and you start doubting yourself. Just because majority people are unconscious, it gives us better scope to work. So don't just work on yourself. That's what we call seva. Is that when you look at things like that around you, you try to help other people who are there. Help her. Get to know, and one day she will understand. And she will thank you. That yes, you're right, you were right, you were absolutely correct. That's what we should do. I'm telling you by my experience. So stick with that, whatever you are saying. And you also look at your own insecurity. Why do you want to, make somebody feel happy? Why are you trying to make compromise on something? Don't have to. Another person must completely accept you as you are. You talk about acceptance. You are accepting her. She is not accepting you. That's the problem. So where is her acceptance? Where is not her acceptance? Is her acceptance not in place? You are accepting her. She is not able to deal with it. She is not understanding it. She considers you to be abnormal on top of that, and yet you have been nice to her. So now you sit with her and talk to her about it. Have an honest discussion with her, talk with her. She'll appreciate it, I'm telling you that. Truth in persons always appreciates truth, no matter how harsh it is.
And one more thing. Like I said, that I don't tend to actually remember the issue, okay? So it's not that I actually tend to think about it and then get sorted with it. It's just natural. It's like, okay, this happened and it was a phase and it's over. But then, is it that I'm running away from the problem?
Only you can answer that question. Maybe you don't care. And if that is the case, you have to work on the compassion. You're losing sensitivity. There should be a balance between that. You cannot be insensitive. A very spiritual person has to be extremely sensitive. But he still follows the path of dharma. He follows the path of rightness, right action, right thoughts. What are you thinking that time? What are you thinking that time? What are your actions? What are your feelings? Scrutinize that. Inquire about that. And then you will come to know whether you are running away from it or escaping from it or being absolutely, non-compassionate or something. You'll find out from yourself what is happening. We'll get an answer that. You are pretty, aware about many things. So I'm sure you will find out what is going wrong and right within yourself. Right? And answer yourself that thing. Get an answer from yourself. Maybe you don't care, and that's not such a good thing.
So I feel, being caring, showing kindness, empathy is very important, but we should not get blown away with those emotions. We should express, but not get involved. Like suppose you're angry with someone, you put across the message without, feeling that anger, without actually hurting yourself, but you put across the message. That's how it is.
Perfect. You can begin that from home, Akansha. Yes.
To ask that can trust do anything that we know that if you trust on it,
On whom? On?
you are doing a meditation.
हाँ.
In the first step, you don't know whether you are going to achieve that state physically. Physically, you are not, haven't seen anything like that happening.
Yeah.
If you trust that and go with that way, then can it happen? Like श्वास और विश्वास पे दुनिया चलती है.
हाँ.
I have heard that. So it can really happen or not?
श्वास और विश्वास पे पूरी दुनिया चलती है. तो श्वास को क्या बोलते हैं? ब्रेथ. ब्रेथ पे दुनिया चलती है. आप चलो ब्रेथ पे. चले हो ब्रेथ पे. Means watch your breath. Once you watch your breath properly, means you walk with your breath. How your breath is moving up and down. As your breath works, your mind works. The state of your breath shows the state of your mind. If you breathe shallow, your mind is naturally shallow. So first make your breath more deep. Means learn pranayama. See, I'm quoting you only, I'm telling you how it is. That you learn. Or if you don't have any teacher to teach you, all you have to do is just watch the breath. What it does, when you watch the breath, you're immediately brought into this present moment. Otherwise, mind is always going around into the future and past. And on base of that future insecurities and past fears, you shape your mind. But if you ask me, present moment, bring your mind back again and again into the present moment, you have no worry in the present moment. No worries. Worries are all happening because either you're making a reference to it from the past or looking at it as what's going to happen to the future. In the present moment कुछ भी होता है, कभी कुछ टेंशन प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में नहीं होता है, कोई भी चीज का. एग्जाम भी जब दे रहे हैं तब भी आपको टेंशन, एग्जाम में लिखने में टेंशन, पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, आंसर लिख रहे हैं, तब टेंशन नहीं है. फेल भी हो गए तो सामने रिजल्ट आ गया, फेल हो गया, टेंशन खत्म. फेल हो गया, बात खत्म, फिनिश. क्या टेंशन है? टेंशन तब होता है जब मैं फेल होऊंगा कि नहीं होऊंगा, पास हो जाऊंगा कि नहीं होऊंगा. ये होने का चक्कर जो है उसी में सब कुछ है ना. अब हो गए, फेल हो गए तो हो गए यार, चलो बड़ा पाव खाते हैं, हो गया, जो होना था हो गया. दोस्तों के साथ जाते हैं थोड़ा, और कोई फेलियर होगा तो और भी अच्छा है. साथ में पास वाले को मत लेके जाना, वो बहुत बुरा फील कराएगा उस टाइम पे. जो फेल होता है ना उसी के साथ आइसक्रीम खाना कभी भी, तो बहुत मजा आएगा. सो मीन्स बीइंग योर माइंड टू द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, कम टू द your breath is kind of life force. It gives your life to you. You first worship breath. Listen, just watch how your breath is, how it flows. हाँ, तो वो अपने आप आएगा ट्रस्ट. पहले ब्रेथ के साथ एक हो जाओ. तुमने खुद ही बोला ना मुझे, अभी आपने खुद मुझे बोला कि श्वास और विश्वास, तो पहले श्वास के साथ एक हो जाओ, और जैसे जैसे यू विल बी इन द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, यू विल स्टार्ट टू फील मोर सिक्योर्ड एंड सेफ. बिकॉज you are feeling unsafe because of whatever happened in the past and what is going to happen in the future. You are unpredictability about something is creating a problem with you. You understand? But in the present, as you keep coming back into the present again and again, you start to develop some kind of safety. You form a safety net around you. कवच बन जाता है अपने अंदर. Present का कवच पहनो. See? And then विश्वास अपने आप आएगा. क्योंकि when you are in safety, you will automatically have trust and faith in that. तो कुछ भी होगा, वो मुन्ना भाई का पिक्चर देख, कौन सा था? मुन्ना भाई था? नहीं, ऑल इज वेल. क्या था वो? आमिर खान का. हाँ, ऑल इज वेल बोलता था ना वो, ऑल इज वेल. हाँ, वो सब मालूम है. देखो अभी एग्जाम के बारे में पूछो, कुछ नहीं पता रहेगा. हाँ, सी सो कम इन टू द प्रेजेंट ऑफ द मोमेंट. यस. Whose question? Yes, okay. You know, you will not, when you are in truth about anything, the whole concept of compromise goes away. Trust me. When you start living in truth and breathing truth, compromise is out of the window. Means it does not feel like compromise. Compromise कब होता है? जब आप इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर के पास जाते हो और बोलते हो मेरे पास काला धन इतना है, इतना कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर लो यार, है ना? थोड़ा सा आप ले लो, थोड़ा मेरे यहाँ पे लिख लो, that's called compromise. But when you have everything white in your life, there is no scope of compromise. There will not be any compromise. It will not be a feeling of compromise. Because you will realize it and they will realize it that what you are saying is truth. Truth always breeds truth. It always gives rise to happiness. For maybe at that moment they will not acknowledge that at that moment. Hota hai. It happens. But you stick to what is truth. Huh.
So let's say that I feel like my parents, they're dragging me to their conversation because of beliefs. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, should we say that, you know,
What is life without a little bit of struggle? होना ही है. You will learn from that. You will become very good to handle people. When you start handling your parents properly and the parents start to handle their children properly, it becomes a perfect training ground for people. So that when you go out and meet other people, you will be able to know how to deal with them. So you stick with your principles of what you are doing. Now, question is, what are you thinking? I mean, you might think that cigarette smoking is principally very correct for you, and parents are saying नहीं पीना है, तो इसमें सही कौन है, गलत कौन होगा? So how you are going to judge yourself? What is right and action is what is wrong action. I am not validating, giving validation to all of you that मन का जो मिलता है वो कर लो. मन is not the important thing here. Intellect is the important thing. You develop your intellect. If ever you speak from the state of intellect, buddhi, then I don't think so that there will be any problem with your parents. They will love it. But like I said, I don't know, I am always surprised by certain things that happen. For example, you might want to do a particular stream and take a particular interest in your life, like some education, and your teachers, your parents say, नहीं, आपको तो engineer ही बनना है. जबकि your potential is not that, or you realize that that is not your passion, then you must stick to what you think is right. In that case, you got the answer? Stick to what you think as far as your passion is concerned. Passion rockstar बनने का है तो क्या करेंगे? बनो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट रॉकस्टार के साथ ड्रग्स लोगे नहीं चलेगा ना. Why? Because intellect does not say that you should be like that. It will harm you, it harms society, it harms everything. So what works at that moment, you have to develop that sense of discernment in you. What is right? Know the difference between passion and foolishness. Right? Yes.
You said that everything is changing, and only thing that is not changing is yourself. So
Yes.
we need to know ourselves, but how to know ourselves?
We need to, like I just gave the one particular technique, is knowing yourself is to first come to this present moment. Celebrate this moment, celebrate this life, celebrate this existence that you have. Take some 10 or 15 minutes every day of your life. sit with your eyes closed. Don't do any technique right now. Forget technique. The only technique that you should know is the technique of love. And do not try to love anybody else first. First love yourself completely. You can only give something to somebody if you have enough of it yourself. See? So, बैंक में बहुत पैसा होगा तो जाके you can give somebody some money ना. But if you have a beggar consciousness yourself, how can you love anybody? So first know what is really love. And when you start loving yourself, without the interference of thought into it, just the pure feeling of yourself. Have you ever had that experience? No. See? How much you are missing in life, see? So you do one thing. You sit, close your eyes, and just tell yourself, I love myself. What happens? Don't let your mind go into any other thought. Don't say, I love myself because I am good looking. No. I love myself because I am a student of Ruya College. No. I love myself because I am so and so's child. No. Nothing. Just I love myself. What happens? Exactly. So first make yourself feel good. You know how much the treasure is there inside of you, but it is hidden. I cannot stress this point again and again. You all are your own greatest gurus. First realize that. Sit in silence. Learn to still your mind that is going and distracting itself to every other concept except itself. Come to a place, that sacred temple inside your heart. See? Every time when we say about love, we are always directing it to something. I love pizza so much. I love my child so much. I love my this thing so much. I love my that. Arey, what about yourself? You are not giving enough attention to your own self, you see. That's what I'm trying to say. Attend to your feeling. What happened to you? Are you okay? Why are you crying? It's okay, good. We appreciate you opening yourself to us in such a way. You are a very brave person, you know. You know, there are many people in this right now who are probably crying inside also. But they are not allowed to. We have that feeling, no? We must be like that. No? So you're very brave, I appreciate it. But you want to express something, please? Void, emptiness, yes. Exactly. Exactly.
And when I was facing this question, I don't know why.
You must change from I have to I am. That's all. The problem is this I have has replaced I am. You see. Always use I am feeling, not I have feeling. Because this I have feeling, no matter what you get in your life, will never be enough. Will never be completely satisfied. In fact, it does the opposite. It promises you a lot of things and then it deceives you right when you think it is something that you can rely upon. You see? So come to this I am feeling. It's good. Whatever you have in your life, I'm not saying reject it. Have it, fine. God has given you as a gift. But do not get attached to it and do not identify with it. Do not say this is the reason for my happiness, because it is not so. None of your friends are the reason of your happiness. Friends keep changing. Today you are here, tomorrow you go to America, you'll have different friends. And you will forget them, these friends that you have. You will remember them as a memory, but they are not the cause of your happiness. You see? Same with everybody in your life. So who is that is ever with us? Can it be anybody else except your own self? See? So that's why I'm saying, first you recognize, regain your own relationship with yourself. Come to yourself again and again. No matter how much time it takes and no matter what people are saying about you. All judgments are wrong. They are incorrect. I don't believe any judgment about anybody. You should not. Don't allow that poison of judgment to pollute your mind. You're all beautiful people. Beautiful in every way. You have to recognize that. Because we have forgotten it. It is only a question of remembrance. It is not a question of attainment. I don't have to attain myself. I cannot be anything more or less than what I already am. See? God made me perfect in myself. As a self is always perfect. But whatever I am identifying myself to as this body in form, for example, name or form, it's imperfect. It will go away. What will you be left with? See? So, have the treasure of the I am that you have, the feeling. That's why I'm saying the step is simple. Come to the present moment first. Bring your mind to this moment. And in that moment, take a aha breathing. Ah, like that. Inside. Don't act like that I'm doing. People will think something else. But whatever you want to do, you can do that also. No problem. But just bring your mind and your breath and release. When you exhale deeply. Like that. Like a relief. Because you have so many things on your shoulders, which you unconsciously and subconsciously carry. Remove this. You know why God has given this shoulder like this, blade? Oh, they say no, they have given you ears. Why this organ of perception is given? So that anything that comes from here can go from here, out. And what enters here goes from here. Don't take anything seriously in life. Whoever tells you anything, don't take it seriously. Number one. Second rule is, in their head, this place which you call as a brain, there's a lot of crap which is kept. Stored here for no reason. Let it slide down from your shoulders and let it go out. इसीलिए इसको ऐसा दिया है, शोल्डर को साइज, यहां से ऐसा बाहर निकल लो. Visualize that all the tension and stress that you are carrying, stress, just as moving from here outside, and relax. Drop your shoulders. ऐसे नहीं चलो, ऐसे होते हैं लोग. Straight, relax. Drop your shoulders and walk confidently as if you are winner, because you are winner. You are already winner. When you were born in this world, you were already a winner. You know that, huh? I don't know to explain how. You're already a winner. So why this in your consciousness has this failure mentality come from? Who has given you? No. Walk like a winner. Be a winner. You are a winner. See? Yes.
You have attended, I guess,
Our goal of existence? Yes. There are 4 basic purusharthas that are given. Dharam, Kam, Arth, Moksha. These are the 4 goals of human birth. So, first of all, it comes dharma. And dharma means now you say, मैं तो हिंदू धर्म का हूँ, मैं ईसाई हूँ, मैं क्रिश्चियन हूँ, मैं पारसी हूँ, मैं मुस्लिम हूँ. That's not dharma. Dharma means, dhar means to hold, and ma means my sense of being. Hold to that sense of beingness. That is dharma. Which has no relationship with religion. Just your sense of being. That is the first one. Second is earth. That is money, wealth, property, whatever you need. Because to practice this dharma, I must have something as a security for my family, for my people. Otherwise, I will not be able to meditate. So that is a valid thing to do. Make earth. Matlab, you make wealth. Not so much wealth or greed. Enough so that it can help you in the way of your dharma practice. Third is kama. That is desires, creation, procreation. That is also a part of your activity that is given as a important one according to God, laid down by the Shastras. And when all these 3 things are integrated properly and balanced together, you reach moksha, liberation from all of that. So these are the 4 things. Remember, balance these 4, balance these 3. When the third, all the 3 are balanced, moksha happens. Liberation takes place. Got it? तो ये 3 चीज में याद रखना. Dharma, arth, काम and so all these 3 things should all mostly relate to your practices also. Not just getting involved outwardly. Outwardly, activities you have to engage. Reason is so that it helps you to achieve moksha. Moksha is your primary duty, responsibility. Detachment, not attachment. Opposite. Attachment of self and detachment from the world. Moksha, liberation. To know the truth is liberation. Know the truth and the truth will set you free. That is what it means. Correct? तो ये सब आप जो पढ़ रहे हो ना इस कॉलेज में, ये भी ऑफ कोर्स पढ़ना ही है. इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर थिंग. बट एट द सेम टाइम व्हाट इज अ हायर नॉलेज also you do that. Don't restrict yourself only to this. Because if you make this university as the only thing that is there, again I am saying from here, because we are speaking from the center of mindfulness, no, I am allowed to do that, right? Then you will fail in the other university. The bigger university, which is a higher university, you will fail there. Be a good human being. If you can't be a being, then at least start being a good human being. Have compassion. Forgive people. Let go of problems, issues that people give you. It doesn't matter. You see. And then you will be able to move inside yourself properly. Move within yourself. The main thing is how you deal with distraction. As young people that you all are, you are highly destructive is later on. First is distraction. Then comes destruction. And destruction comes because of distraction, because not anybody, you don't destruct anybody else, you only destroy yourself. There is nobody that can touch you or destroy you. You are the only one. So be clean and pure in your consciousness. Don't allow anybody to pollute that pure essence of being within you, whoever they are, even if they are your parents. Don't allow that. Because nobody else is going to be responsible for what's going to happen, how you are going to be happy, other than your own self. Trust me. Be independent in that way. Your consciousness should be very independent of that. But that doesn't mean you have to be rude to anybody or hostile towards anybody or be a rebel. No. You can be accommodating to everything and anybody, knowing that someone is suffering from something. You allow, you just pardon, you just, okay, you say you have said your thing, I will do my thing that I know I have to do. Guidance is necessary at that stage for you. When the time for guidance will come, it will automatically come to you. At this moment, you come to yourself again and again. That's all. Automatically, your path will become more and more clear for you. Yeah? Anybody else? Huh.
That by heightening your sensitivity, you heighten your intellect, and by heightening your intellect, you understand your essence.
Absolutely. Yes. Then you keep your windows open, keep your house clean, and then the breeze will follow. If the breeze will come, it will come. If it's not meant to be, it's fine. That's what grace is, right? But you can keep your house clean. Keep your house clean. Yes. Sorry about the spelling. I don't know. Avasthanam. Avasthanam means state. Avastha. State of being. Avastha. The nature. Yes. Dadastu Swarupe. The nature of my state. What is the nature of my state? And that is Sat Chitananda. But the moment you come to know about that there is a witnesser to something, you'll automatically be very calm. You'll automatically know that it doesn't touch you. See? Only this thing. No matter what happens to your life, hold yourself for some time at that moment. And it's the most difficult thing to do. Because your reactions are so fast about something. Someone says something, your mind is running already, your limbs are already going towards him, your hand is already going, your mind is already kicking him on the face. Already think all these things are happening. Wait for some time. Hold. Breathe. Like I said, breathe. And give a sigh of relief. Okay, this is happening. Now what? Where is the witnesser? Go to that. It is witnessing you. Just simply witnessing you. What is happening. And from there, whatever you have to say will come out. If you have to still tell something to somebody, I'm not giving morality talk here. Oh, you have to be very kind or something. Oh, maybe you need to use some words which are stern sometimes. Oh, it's okay. Like teachers do sometimes to the students when they don't score good marks. They love them, but then they call them in the room and say, you know what, this is not going to be done. You have to better shape up, otherwise harsh. But in their heart they know they are attacking the truth. It is out of love. You never compromise love and wisdom. Remember this. Whoever it is, you don't compromise on that. You always live up to that. See?
Actually, you can't compromise love. When you use love as your essence,
Yes.
rather than emotion.
Correct. Because emotion is changing. So which means that your love is changing. So it cannot be emotion. It is deeper than that. It has to come from that place. It is changeless. It comes from the self, the essence of your own true being. one has to become, but you have to get the flavor of it. Just like how ice creams have flavor of the month, different flavors of the month. Every day you have, when you reach your real essence of, you'll have different flavor. That's what makes it so interesting. It's not boring. It's the most exciting thing in the world to meditate. Actually, I'm telling you that. Try it. It's beautiful. It is not for recluses or some people who say, only people who have 80 years and 70 years, now they have retired in life and now they have to go and now I will meditate. I had one person who was my uncle's, he said, you know what, once I am going to be this many years of old, 70 years of old, then I will leave everything. Apparently, his wife died. And then, unfortunately. But then he got married again and his life has started again, you see. There is never any time future. It's always here and now. At this moment, make a decision. That this 20 minutes of my life, which is very minimum, let me tell you that. You must give that much time. You haven't, you have given, you think you have given breath to yourself, but you haven't. The real breath which you offer has to offer to your soul completely, fully. You don't even breathe properly. That's why we have diseases in our body. So many toxins are there. We don't breathe. We don't even know how to breathe. There's a whole science behind it. Forget about the physical aspect. Okay, that's very important though, but that is probably a conversation for some next time. Because by simple change in the way that you breathe, you will change your entire toxins. You can destroy all the toxins of your body. Just by that. And also you change the mind, how the mind operates, how the mind feels, and how you feel in your life. Your intellect, how it becomes sharpened just by doing pranayama. But forget about that. For right now, just breathe into your soul. You have a soul which you know is not the body. We all know that. It doesn't require anybody to tell you that. Simple. There must be a center inside of you which is independent of the existence of your body. What is it that tells you that all is okay even when you're not feeling good in your body? Something is there, no? Which reassures you. No matter how the circumstances are inside your body or outside the body, something is there that is giving you an assurance. Now, don't we owe that assurance something? Something at least. Okay, what can we give him? Some attention, some breath, some love. That's all. Very natural. This is all that there is in meditation. Have conversation with yourself. Yes.
What would you say to someone who has fallen into a pattern of, as you said, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you have to look within yourself because everything that matters to you is within yourself. Happiness, love, motivation to work towards what you want in life. But, for example, working towards something that you want in life, there has to be a driving force that could be, for me, what has mattered to me for a long time has been love for anything, to be it for my parents, friends, for anybody, or for what I want to do with my life professionally. But what would you say to someone who has fallen into a pattern of waking up and going to sleep every day with this sense of being lost?
Being lost. Okay.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you love yourself, and love comes from within you. But you know the feeling of love because you have loved somebody or somebody has loved you. So as you grew up, you learned about all these experiences, and you know what love feels like because of things that might have happened to you, or that you might have seen happen to others, or because of things that you might have done to somebody. And that's how you know what love feels like or what happiness feels like. So what would you say to somebody who no longer remembers what that sense of love feels like, because everything they remember about it has now been contaminated. And so
Yeah.
now, because of that, they feel that way.
Yes,
That sense of
yes.
being completely lost.
Exactly.
And three,
Yes.
even if you somehow hold yourself still and remember that, okay, all right, this has been a long period of time, but in comparison to this period of time, this is nothing. So, all right, you just stay calm for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, and then you remind yourself that this period is nothing in comparison to that period, which might be better, might not be better. I wouldn't know. So I just need to stay calm. But what now? What do I allow to drive myself?
You're talking about a heartbreak or what?
No, it's
It looks like a love affair gone wrong. No? Okay. Then I misjudged it, but
no,
felt like that.
I actually am talking of myself, and it's
You're talking about yourself.
yeah.
Okay, so you said earlier that was your friend. Okay, now you're coming out of the real truth. Okay, okay. So then add something more. Uh-huh.
That sense of feeling love towards anybody.
Hmm.
When all of that has been contaminated, what do you do next?
Okay, that is what I was trying to tell you. That the love that you already are is never contaminated by anything. It's because you have mixed your love with something that is already in contamination. It has created what you call as mixed awareness. I'll tell you how. Whoever has had milk, raise your hand. Milk. You have milk? All of you are wrong. You never had milk. You had milk with water in it. It looks like milk. It's never pure milk. They put water in it. It is contaminated. But it looks like milk. You see? So when you are loving so many people, like you said, those objects already had some sense of contamination in that. And you, because of the mixing of your pure love with something that was contaminated, it became a mixture of two. But it felt like your love. Because it was coming from inside of you. See? So you have to connect back to your pure love that comes. It is not in any way associated. Because it is associated with objects around in relationships and everything, and it has concepts like expectations, possessiveness, competitiveness, many more things can be there in relationship. What happens with such love? It does not become unconditional anymore. It becomes conditional love. And when love becomes, that kind of love becomes unconditional, then there is pollution, impurity. And then you feel, oh, I loved so much. I gave so much faith. I gave so much trust. But now it feels like it is impure, just like milk and water together. You cannot make out the difference between that. So how will you develop that? You have to tease out the milk from the water. And that was happening when in the olden times the Paramahansa, the swan, which was said that removes the milk from the water. It was the only thing that was able to remove the milk from the water. And only consume the milk, not the water. That's how you have to become. Hansa. That's where the word Paramhansa comes. Means the wise one. The one who is able to tease out from the mixed awareness of the self and the purities that are there into the world, which are going to be there. You can't do anything about it. That's how we are into this world. Whatever you take in every relationship or anything, there's always going to be this aspect where you will feel that you have been let down. It's never going to be completely perfect. But you have to discern then and come back to yourself and say, okay. You know? Yourself. There is no other one, anybody else except your own self, correct? And what if you have never realized it? It's a good time to start to realize it now. If you haven't, then you should. And I'm telling you, it is not that you haven't. It's just that you have not understood this, that these two things are together. This is what is creating the problem of what we call Maya. What is, what appears to be but is not. So what appears to you as love is not just love. What appears to you as milk is not just milk. It's many things inside. It's also water, it's also some other nowadays, so we can't say what all are there. My mistake. So you come back to your own self. Again and again come back to your pure milk consciousness, pure consciousness of milk, and stay there. And you cannot prevent the milk from getting into water. But what will happen is that you will have this understanding that I am having something that is mixed. So your expectations will drop down. You will expect that this is not pure love, this is not pure milk of consciousness, but it has to be it has to be imperfect. The world has to be imperfect. You will never get perfect love from something that is as imperfect as the world. Any relationship, I am telling you, in real honesty, you will never be completely in love because it comes from imperfect base. See what I am saying? Now when you happen that, what happens? You don't lose faith because there is understanding. There is an understanding in place why it is so. So when you understand the ideology behind something, the work mechanism behind something, then you are never frustrated. You are angry, upset and frustrated and disappointed and doubt and having doubts and hopeless because you do not have this wisdom in place. That from the world there is going to be imperfection and there is nothing you can do about it. But what I can do about it is I can have minimum expectations from the love that arises from the world. And for the love that I want, the pure being or pure love that I want, I'll go to myself. Finish. End of story. It's such a simple thing. No? That's what I'm saying. Two things are required. Understanding and abidance. Understanding about how Maya works. That's why we say, be with people who are enlightened, because they will tell you again and again the same thing. You will yourself find that you are getting attached to something. Always. Mind is like this. In spite of telling 100 things, reading 100 books, having so many, experience will tell you and me and everybody that you fell again, you got drifted into something which was unreal, and then you say, oh baap re, ye kya ho gaya? Aisa kyun ho gaya mere sath? Ye isliye ho gaya because you were not very attentive at that time. All it requires is this understanding. ये love तो है, I accept it, ये है, ठीक है, सब कुछ ठीक है, लेकिन I know how much expectation I have to have. I don't build too many expectations. So your love may be perfect because it comes from inside of you, and even their love is perfect because it comes from inside. But then between that, there is the complex happens, things happen, the mixing creates problem. At different times you expect something, at different times that person is expecting something else. What will happen? Allow it. Flow, let it go. Don't be so, moved by. I understand. I'm sensitive also about it because I also go through the same things. But over and over again I have seen that I can't change anything into the world. No way. Even my students I keep telling all the time, do this. नहीं होता है उनसे भी. जितना होता है तो I have to accept because imperfection is there. What to do? I can't break my head over their problems. I decided छोड़ो. जितना बोल सकता हूँ बोलूँगा. जितना कर सकता हूँ करूँगा. है ना? I have to come and be with my own rest. I have to rest in my own self. That's important. Why am I so attached even to anything? No. But I will say with passion whenever I am brought to, and if someone comes to me, I will guide. Same thing should be like you. We should be. When you give love, you give freely, unconditionally. The expectation starts because you expect how you give love, you should be reciprocated the same way, correct? That's the problem. It's never going to happen. Remove that expectation. do your job. That's all. And see your life, yourself, your world will change for yourself, because that love that has to come has to be from yourself. That is a real love. वर्ल्ड में कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. जितना भी मिलेगा, that will further create more and more disillusionment in you, more and more dissatisfaction. Howsoever, I'm telling you, it doesn't mean rich people, very rich people are very happy. No, I have more rich people coming who are having problems sleeping at night than poor people or middle class people. Because that's how it is. They don't know what to do. They're very troubled people, you know. Anybody else? I will not give you a taste, but I would say that whatever I have spoken right now, from you decide your own meditation. I don't want to give you any meditation technique. I can give you, but I will reserve that for next time. I want to see all of you all sitting, how you are having conversation with yourself. So I would suggest that you all sit with eyes closed for 10 minutes and just do or don't do anything, but have a simple dialogue with yourself. Which way you will have dialogue? I will ask you question after that. Okay, please. You can maybe tone down the lights. So see, you don't need anybody to guide you. You all did very well. All it required was just to close your eyes and feel your being. That's all. And I could see the happiness. I was wondering what you were doing. What's your name? Yeah. Abhishek. Your legs were moving. Were you dancing inside your meditation? What were you doing? Interesting. Huh? Yeah, see? That's why you could feel it in the body. I could see it. But you were enjoying it. Good. That's also good. Whatever you makes you feel good within yourself, your time, your space, however you want it to be, your body will respond according to your state. See? Always follows like that. Anybody else wants to share something about your meditation or any questions regarding it that you had? Anything difficult about this technique that we just did? Yes. Very good. Fine. You did the right thing that time. See, that's why I didn't want to give any meditation. Because at that time, each of you, like he was feeling music in his heart, somebody must be talking to themselves. You talk to yourself only when you have some kind of conflict. When you don't know what to decide for yourself. When you have to make choices about something and you are not able to come up with any kind of decision, then you try to consult people. And what happens is when you consult many people, you become even more difficult to take the decision because you just don't know. You pull in different directions. There is a problem inside which does not give you the right answers, and then you do not have right answers from anyone else. So you must get a clarity, a clear voice from inside. How will you get? It's only when you develop a habit of having continuous dialogues. You'll never need a therapist in your life, ever. Most people, they need therapists not because they are stressed out of something. They don't have anybody to listen to them in the family. That's why, And the shrinks are very happy. They charge you good amount of money for that. So why you want to waste money? You can be your best therapist. Sit at night, time is very good time. Before you sleep, don't allow the mind to accumulate past files. Scrutinize your life, what happened in the day. And if there's something that worries you, sit with yourself and say, okay, I will probably get some clarity about it. Tell me what you are saying, tell me what you are saying. There will be two voices that will come from you, maybe multiple, I don't know. Just go through that, that's all. Just listen. And then you, after you have listened to it, now you tell your thing to the mind. So mind has told you, now you tell to the mind what it. Every time we have a habit of only listening to our mind. We never tell our mind. We have lost touch with our mind completely. Mind is commanding us around all the time. Have you seen? Mind is not supposed to command us around. Mind is supposed to listen to us what we want to. Not the other way around. But we are always listening to what the mind is telling us. See? By telling the mind what I should be doing, you are developing the sense of intellect within you. You are making the intellect stronger. For example, exam is there, mind says, सो जाओ, बहुत पढ़े पढ़ चुके हो, कितना पढ़ोगे और हो जाओ अभी, it's okay. But you haven't completed your portion. You know it's the wrong thing to do. You have to study. You will tell your mind, have a conversation. I am not saying don't sleep. Of course you will sleep. But just because the mind has said it, don't trust it. Don't trust the mind. Tell itself, listen, there's a time, the moment the mind tells you, if you observe, something voice will come out and tell, no, I think I should do this. It always does that. No,
But you somehow suppress that voice and listen to what the mind is saying. So mind has become powerful in the wrong way. So what we have to do is reverse that relationship and tell to the mind, no, I will sit and I will listen. I will do like this and I will study. You see how much happiness you will get if you do that. Even for 15 minutes more if you study that time, you will feel freedom. Freedom from mind is big freedom in your life. Very big freedom. You're talking about freedom from all the outward things. Forget that first. Because whatever is connected to the mind, what connects the outward things to you, is through the medium of instrument of mind. First, get to know how to understand the mind, then you will be able to control the mind. And then you will be able to tell the mind what to do. Correct? Right? So, develop a habitual pattern of talking to yourself. But my point is, at night, talk to yourself. Then only you will be able to sink deep into your meditation. Whatever you are talking, don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. You are enough judged by people around. No. Okay. So I think I should call it a day now. And thank you. Thank you all for everything. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rajiv ji.
Experiment. Close your eyes just for a moment and think of the time when you had the most wonderful time in your life. How old were you when you were most happy? Very, very happy. Maybe it was a time when you went and had a beautiful scenery in the mountains, in nature. Or maybe it was a time when you were with a loved one. How wonderful that time was. Okay, now come back here. Come back here. So now you know how you felt? Okay, let's do the second experiment. Close your eyes and go back to the time when you had the most awful time in your life. How you're feeling, how you felt, what was your thought, what was your emotions, and what was causing that emotions and thought. Okay. Now open your eyes and come back to yourself. Did you feel the difference, how you felt? Those people who felt the difference, please raise your hand. Okay. Those people who are not affected by these two. Okay, let me ask Guruji. Did you feel any difference?
I actually didn't do that.
Oh, okay. You should have. Because I'm sure he
I did it. I was not affected.
he is not affected by this. But most of us got affected. Right? When you thought about the time when you were happy, you started feeling good. And when you thought about the time when you felt most awful in your life, you felt awful. But you see, somebody like him doesn't get affected. Whatever your thought is, you don't get affected. But most of us do get affected. Why? Because thought is connected with emotions. So when you think of a thought, or when you think of a time when you're happy, it makes you happy. So we have all these memories, all the memories in our file, in our computers. So depending upon the situation, these computers, there's a trigger that happens in your life. You meet somebody, but you're not really meeting this person. You met this person before, and this person you're not meeting for the first time. It reminds you of somebody. And that memory triggers all the file, all the memory files, all the computer files in you. And then you are seeing through this computer, your projector, and you project it onto outside world, and that's what you see. You're not really seeing things as it is. So we get affected by thought and emotions. But just know today that it's possible, and there are people who has done it, like the Guruji here, and I'm still striving to get there, but it's possible not to get affected by your thought or somebody you meet who you you feel offended or something because of the trigger. It's not really this person, or it's not really that person. It's the trigger inside you that gets triggered. And this is a trigger in Indian language. It's called samskara, the storage of all the past life. Not just this lifetime, but many, 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 many lifetimes. In the past, you might have been Japanese, you might have been Indians, you might have been something else. But all the storage that you have in yourself, the computer programs you have, this is what we are dealing with. And in order to get rid of all the files, we need to meditate. So someday we can be liberated from all the memories, and we can just come back to ourselves, a true self, real self, which is always happy, always loving, always clear. So thank you so much.